Good afternoon. Welcome to this edition of the 411 Talk Zone radio show. My name is Leon Jones. Today's topic: a well-balanced diet is an asset to a good exercise program. A well-balanced diet is a good asset to an exercise program. Now, yesterday I did a video and I talked about how you could utilize a cost-effective solution so you don't have to go to the gym for any exercises, because memberships can get expensive and some of us don't have the resources, and staying healthy is very expensive. But if you are committed to maintaining good health, you don't have to spend any money at all. You just have to know how to utilize what you have. Now, I have to give a shout out to a comment that was made. The person's name was LS, and I appreciate what the person said. That's what inspired me to do this video, because you must eat well. And a number of us do not eat well, and that includes myself. But I'm eating better. But there are times that I like to splurge. But this goes back to the video I did on Sunday. You can eat whatever you want as long as it is in moderation. But if you want a healthy diet, you must have a balance of grains, fruits, vegetables, dairy, and meat. You must know how to make the menu and make sure that menu is realistic. When you start off with the calories, and this is a review, you want your biggest meal to be breakfast. If you speak Spanish, it's desayuno. You want your lunch to be relatively light. That's almuerzo for lunch, if you speak Spanish. And dinner, or cenar for dinner, if you speak Spanish. Nevertheless, well-balanced diet is very healthy. And if you don't want any calories added to your diet, drink water. Some of you can drink lemon juice with water. Also, you can add sweetener like stevia to your water with lemon juice, and you have homemade lemonade. But it is true, if you're going to have an exercise program, you should have a balanced diet. You want to be able to burn off those calories. And what you have to do, just as with the exercise program, keep track of what your intake is, because that's very important. And then you look at what's going out. Now, you are allowed, based on your height and weight, to have empty calories. And again, if you don't know what empty calories are, they're your condiments, basically sugar and salt, saturated fats. But you can eat them randomly. When it comes to snacking, I like popcorn. Has a lot of fiber. Watermelon is very good. Gives you that potassium, just like a banana. Also, it's how you cook your foods. Don't fry your foods. Frying has a lot of saturated fat. You want mono and polysaturated fats in your diet. Monosaturated and polysaturated. You don't want saturated fats. You want to make sure you understand how to read a label. Now, with all that being said, where are you going to go to get the food? Well, they have a lot of nature shops, Whole Food markets. And if you live in an urban area, you have a car, get out to the suburbs, go to the Whole Foods markets. Again, there are many nature's food stores, and some of them aren't expensive. Now, do you want to use dietary supplements? It depends. I don't encourage it, but if you link a good balanced diet and you eat well, you commit to it, plus exercise, you'll see the pounds dwindle. But it has to be something you want to do. Of course, eating well is very difficult. There are a lot of good foods out there. And you know, with the holidays coming up, we have Memorial Day coming up, 4th of July coming up. It's going to get warm, and a number of us tend to eat more food when it gets warm. I mean, the spare ribs just slopped over with barbecue sauce, the fried chicken, the potato salad, the mashed potatoes. And once we leave the summer, then we really get into the bigger holidays of Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. I know us African Americans, we like soul food. We get the pig's feet and the chitlins and the hog maws, the ham, the turkey, the collard greens. You can eat that food. Got to cook it right. And you must also understand that some of the vegetables that you're eating, and I know broccoli and cabbage are two that I know, they're basically genetically engineered vegetables known as GMOs. They are good for you, but you have to watch some of the GMOs, because a lot of the foods that we eat today are manufactured. Make sure your meat, because when you don't understand the foods you're eating, you could be eating something bad. And when you go out and buy health food, you also look on the labels, because the two big items that are always going to stand out are three big items that I look at. Look at the calories from fat. Look at the sodium content. I know Hormel had some meals that were low fat. Well, it sounds good on the outside, but when you actually take a look at the label, there's a lot of salt in those health foods. Do you want to go to Weight Watchers? Weight Watchers could get expensive because they deliver food to your house. It could be $300 or $400 a month. The food is portioned out. The taste of the food is bland. So you'll have to add something to it to make it taste good. And there's nothing wrong with adding a little condiments to your food. But you got to keep a well-balanced diet and make sure that your portions are light. That's eating well, because it's much easier to burn off food when you don't have a heavy consumption. One must remember, all of your bad carbohydrates get stored up as fat, and this is when you put on the pounds, particularly around the stomach for men, even the stomach for women, but the hips for women. You want to make sure that all of the food you eat is real food. Just because something says low fat means low fat. It doesn't have as much fat as the regular, but it still has fat in it. You want no fat, and they have a lot of salad dressings and condiments out there with no fat. Look at yogurt. There's low fat and there's no fat yogurt. You can take yogurt, mix it up, make a smoothie with it. And if you are going to have any sugar, make sure it's natural sugar from fruits like watermelon, bananas, oranges. Now, the problem I have with some of the citrus fruits out there, they're very acidic. But you can actually squeeze your own orange juice. That's better for you than a concentrated orange juice, because there's a lot of sugar in a concentrated orange juice. Although it says you can get vitamin C. Sugar content. Minute Maid is another one that has a high sugar content. Again, I'm not saying not to eat what you want, but you must eat light. Get lean meats. Liver is a lean meat. Lean beef. Chicken, fish, turkey. They're very lean. In fact, when I make chili, I utilize turkey meat. When I make spaghetti, utilize turkey sausage. Very good for you, easy to digest. Problem with red meat, takes a longer time to digest, and that's very expensive. If you're going to buy vegetables, try to buy them fresh. There are a lot of farmers markets out there. If you can't get them from the farmers markets, I would go frozen. But the canned vegetables are stacked with sodium and other chemicals as well, and they don't taste as good. So, if you have to buy cans, drain all of the juices filled with chemicals by utilizing a colander. You got to wash everything out. You can eat ham as well. It's a pork. You got to boil all the salt out. But make sure when you eat any meal, it must be consumed with the 5 basic food groups. And the food groups again are grains. What are grains? Some examples of grains: oatmeal, long grain rice. Particularly should eat brown rice if you're cooking spaghetti noodles. You can have wheat spaghetti noodles or vegetable spaghetti noodles. Vegetables, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, squash. Squash has good fiber as well. We have yellow squash, butternut squash. I'm talking about fruits, strawberries, blueberries, have that vitamin C, potassium, bananas, kiwis, watermelon. You get into some lean meats, seafood like shrimp, fish, clams, lean meat, turkey, lean beef, about a quarter inch braised, liver, chicken. In fact, you're going to do much better with liver, chicken, and turkey because of the price you pay in the store. One must understand when you have a good diet, you must cost everything out. Because, again, eating healthy is expensive. I would go ahead and buy what I need from a place like Aldi's. In the Midwest, there's Meijer. If you're on the East Coast, go on to ShopRite or Price Right. Redner's Market, if you're in the Pennsylvania area. Giant Food, Martin's, or any of those grocery stores. Here in the Midwest where I live, Food for Less, Save a Lot, Kroger, Meijer, just a few to name. No matter where you get your food, make sure you read the labels and write a daily menu. That's what makes dieting very difficult. You have to make a sensible menu, and you want to utilize the calories based off of your height and weight. Now, let me make something very clear, because I slipped yesterday when I mentioned calorie intake. I'll give you my calorie intake for my height and weight. It's 2,203 pounds. What you want to do, you want to go plus or minus. Well, plus means you go 500 calories above your daily recommended intake. And minus is you go 500 calories below. I like to go below because the less calories I take in, it's easy for me to burn it off during an exercise regimen, and I'm going to lose weight a lot faster. You don't have to overdo it with drinking water as well, because a lot of us don't understand that our bodies are 70 to 75% water anyway. So our bodies retain a lot of water, and that's what's going on around the stomach. Some of the weight that you have is water weight. It's not fat weight, it's water weight. So unless you're doing something rigorous, such as utilizing your body for athletics, or you're doing farming, something that involves heavy work, just stay with 64 ounces of water a day, because you don't want to fill up on water. You can also drown yourself, by the way, if you fill up with water. So the best way to diet is know your height and weight. Look at where you are on a BMI scale. And then go ahead and write down the foods that you like. But make sure they're in the 5 food groups that I mentioned. And I'm talking again about grains, fruits, vegetables, dairy. That's right. I apologize, I didn't mention dairy, because that's where your yogurts and your milk is, and all of your other dairy products, such as cheese. I like Swiss cheese or provolone cheese. And make sure you go to the deli to get your cheese. Now, Sargento makes a good brand of cheese. Again, I'm going to tell you right now, a half a pound of cheese is expensive, but cheese is good for you, particularly Swiss cheese. So, again, since I almost misspoke, there are 5 food groups. There's your grains, fruits, vegetables, dairy, and lean meats. If you have all 5 of those groups every day, that's a balanced diet. Stick to what your daily intake is as a start. Also, make sure you cook your own food. A number of us are eating out, and the food that you get comes from Sysco or Continental Foods or even Costco. A lot of the food is in cans. Gordon's is another place that you can buy food in bulk. The problem with the cans, they're sealed and they utilize chemicals as preservatives to keep the food fresh. This is why you can house it for a long period of time. Also, if your food is canned, get it out of the can as soon as possible. One thing that you must understand when it comes to any canned food: cans can rust. You don't want rust getting in your food. That's not good for you either. And I know some of us use a can opener. Well, if you had a microscope, you could see all the metal fragments that go into your food. That's not good either. Now, when it comes to some dietary supplements, L-arginine, one-a-day vitamins, because you want to make sure your metabolism is fast as well. Because if you have a slow metabolism, it's going to take you a longer time to burn off calories. So one-a-day vitamin can help your metabolism. L-arginine is good for your heart. L-glutamine is also for heart and muscle. I take apple cider vinegar and cinnamon. They're good for reducing your sugar and your blood pressure. But if you culminate the exercise, some dietary supplements, like I said, I don't recommend dietary supplements because a number of them haven't been approved by the Food and Drug Administration, but they can add some nutrients where you're not getting them in the types of food you eat. If you're missing vitamin D, Little Sun will help vitamin D. But I'm going to repeat this again because repetition's the mother of all skill and teaching. 5 food groups. Your grains. Grains feature oatmeal and rice and other egg noodles. Your dairy. Your milk, yogurts, and your cheese. In fact, everything in dairy, that's milk products. Your meat. That's your beef, turkey, and even eggs. Your vegetables. Cucumbers, squash, potatoes, tomatoes. And then you have your fruits. Your watermelon, kiwis, coconut, oranges, lemons, and other fruits such as grapes and prunes. If you utilize those 5 food groups and you make a menu according to the calories that you need, you are getting a balanced diet. You stick to it. That's when you're eating well. But to go even higher, the proper portions of those 5 food groups and water, which has no calories. When you can do that, you're eating well. And that goes along with a good exercise program. Because at the end of the day, you want to look good and you want to feel good. And you'll build confidence in yourself because you are looking to be healthy. Because the healthier you are, the less likely you will obtain diseases that are chronic or physical. Because it is your life, one life to live. And while you're here, work smart and preserve your life. And the only way you'll do that is eat a healthy diet of grains, fruits and vegetables, dairy products, and lean meats, and drink water. And that's my commentary for this edition of the 401 Talk Zone radio show for today, this afternoon, Tuesday, May 2nd, 2017. You can tune in to the 401 Talk Zone radio show every Saturday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. I'd like to give a shout out to Brother LAR Movement, Brother Reg the Bad Guy, Brother Real Deal, Brother Matt Coley, Brother Full Circle, Brother Conscious Effect, Tobias Orion, Brother Rashawn DeLay, the Elder, Sister Clarissa. She's doing very well in her Chicago Talk series. And also, give a shout out to my man, B. Hack, very good friend of mine with the taxpeople.com. These individuals are very influential on my channel, and they appear on my radio show, and we had a good radio show last week. This week's radio show, I'm going to talk about post-traumatic stress disorder, and another shout out to throw in there, Sister Felicia Ganiu, the Healing Palace, She's also given me the inspiration to do a lot of these videos on health and psychological and mental disorders, because nobody is really talking about these disorders, particularly in the black community, because we believe we don't have any. And that could be further from the truth. So if you want to get in on the radio show this week, guest calling number is 215-383-5785. And if you like my videos, please share and subscribe to the 411 Talk Zone radio show right here on YouTube, so I can continue to give you quality information for educational purposes from a professional and mature perspective. Now, on this channel, I don't engage in debates, controversy, or emotion, nor do I participate in drama and unnecessary bickering. Why? Because it is counterproductive. This channel is utilized for educational purposes only. And what you're going to get is reality from a positive perspective. Because if you have the tools, you'll learn how the real world works, and you won't struggle as much, because knowledge is power. And if you have a business, a topic, or a new YouTube channel that you would like for me to discuss on YouTube or Blog Talk Radio, please email me at lej6521@gmail.com. And if you have a comment, please leave your comment in the comment section under the video. But make sure that your comments are pithy. No bloviating, pettifogging, or filibustering, if you wish to opine. Now that's it for this video. Till next time, my name is Leon Jones. Remember, please be gentle and respectful to each other, and have a wonderful and blessed afternoon.